Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. As always, thank you for taking time out of your day to watch the video. I really appreciate it. We have more PlayStation news, rumors, and leaks to go over and discuss today. So before we dive into these topics, do me a big favor, hit the like button to help the video out and show your support. And if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. The first topic talks about a PlayStation title that I think many are looking forward to, that being Stray. We have what seems to be some good news regarding this game. Apparently, it was rated in South Korea, and this means it could be releasing very soon. So reading from PlayStation Universe, it says Blue 12 Studios' upcoming Stray has been rated in South Korea, suggesting a release can't be far off. While a release date hasn't been announced yet, publisher Annapurna Interactive said last month that Stray is still on track to launch this year. Last year, the game was pegged for an early 2022 release, although that hasn't happened, but hopefully it won't be too far off. And for those wondering, Stray is a puzzle-based adventure game where you are playing as a homeless cat in a cyber city that is full of robots, and you're basically going to navigate this city, and you're not going to be alone when you do it. You do have a flying drone companion named B12. So yeah, it's definitely a unique premise here, and this is a game that I know a lot of people are looking forward to, and I've seen quite a few PlayStation fans express their excitement. And this is good news because, as it says, we will probably be playing this game very soon based off of this rating. So when we do get the official release date, I will be sure to update you guys and let you know. Let me know down in the comments below if you plan to play Stray. Now, the next topic is definitely an interesting one, and I have to imagine that at least some people will be a little surprised to hear this. This is reading from VGC, where they say new figures released by Twitter show that Sony's acquisition of Bungie generated more discussion than Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition on the platform. Twitter's global head of creator and gaming content partnerships tweeted internal Twitter data that showed when the frequency of tweets about video games spiked throughout the past 3 months. Although the information provided by Twitter doesn't give exact figures, it shows that there were 4 clear discussion peaks between January 1st and March 31st this year. These were on the days that Microsoft announced it was acquiring Activision Blizzard, Sony announced it was acquiring Bungie, Elden Ring was released, and Fortnite's new season started. Twitter's data shows that the release of Elden Ring generated the most discussion by far on the platform, likely due to the many millions of players buying the game on day one and sharing their initial impressions. The second most discussed topic was Sony's acquisition of Bungie, followed by Microsoft's Activision Blizzard acquisition, which gained slightly more buzz than Fortnite's new season. And so yeah, this is some pretty interesting data that we're getting from Twitter here, and I don't know that it really means all that much. I mean, I am not surprised by this because I feel like PlayStation as a brand is just bigger than Xbox, and I think that, you know, pretty much everybody knows this. Everybody knows that PlayStation is a more global brand. It has more reach, and it just makes sense that when Sony announces a big acquisition like what we saw with Bungie, that there would be maybe more people talking about it. But it's definitely a little bit surprising because when you look at just how big of a deal the Microsoft Activision Blizzard acquisition is, I mean, just in terms of, you know, the type of games that Activision has, such as Call of Duty, and how much money is being spent, you would think that at least with Twitter here, that would have generated more conversation. Now, I've seen some people point out that maybe the reason there was more conversation surrounding the PlayStation Bungie acquisition is because people were very confused and they were under the impression that PlayStation essentially just bought Halo. And that's a pretty funny thing to think about, because this idea that potentially thousands of people on the day that the PlayStation Bungie acquisition was announced are sitting there under the impression that, well, you know, Halo is now going to be a PlayStation exclusive. I mean, there's no doubt that there was some of that going on, but I don't think that necessarily dominated the conversation. As somebody who kind of partook in the conversation on Twitter when this was going down, it seemed like people were just kind of surprised that this was the acquisition that Sony made. And You know, a lot of people were trying to figure out, you know, is Destiny going to be exclusive or not? Why exactly did Sony go after Bungie and not so-and-so? And what will Sony do next? And I think that Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard is what actually ended up kind of propelling this conversation even further, because a lot of people, I think, were anticipating that Sony was going to have to do something. Doesn't matter what they did, but they're going to have to do something to acknowledge this. And you know, I think that it just kind of caught a lot of people off guard. Like, oh, not only did Sony actually make an acquisition of their own, but it was one that I don't think many people were expecting at all. And so, yeah, I don't think it really means anything ultimately. I think that it's just interesting data to go over. It does kind of have to make you wonder. Imagine how much discussion there would be if Sony ended up acquiring a publisher like Microsoft has with Bethesda or Activision. I mean, you have to imagine the discussion then would be way more than what we're seeing with Bungie. But yeah, we're going to move on to the next topic, which I think is a pretty exciting one. It was revealed yesterday and announced by Remedy that they are remaking Max Payne 1 and 2 in collaboration with Rockstar Games. This is reading from WCCF Tech, and it says, get ready for some next-gen bullet time, because the first two entries in the Max Payne series are being remade for PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and PC. The remakes will be released as a single package and are being developed by the original series creators, Remedy Entertainment, using the studio's Northlight engine. Rockstar is funding the project, which will be in line with a typical Remedy AAA production in terms of scope and polish. And Remedy's CEO had the following to say about the project. Max Payne has always held a special place in the hearts of everyone at Remedy, and we know the millions of fans worldwide feel the same. We're hugely excited to be working with our partners at Rockstar Games once again for the chance to bring the story, action, and atmosphere of the original Max Payne games back to players in new ways. And then we also have Rockstar's Sam Hauser, who says, we were thrilled when our long-term friends at Remedy approached us about remaking the original Max Payne games. We are massive fans of the work the Remedy team has created over the years, and we can't wait to play these new versions. And so this came seemingly out of nowhere, and it was big news to a lot of people. I've always been a Max Payne fan, and I know that there are many of you who are also Max Payne fans. And Max Payne 3 I thought was an incredible game. I thought that Rockstar really did it justice. And what makes this so awesome is when you think about Max Payne 1 and 2, these are two games that I think really could benefit dramatically from not a remaster, but a full from the ground up remake. There's two games that I think absolutely deserve it. And Remedy, you know, they're a talented studio, and they're going to be using their Northlight engine, which I think is awesome. So you automatically know these games are going to look incredible. They're not going to be cross-gen. It's just going to be for PS5 and Xbox Series consoles. And all in all, I think it's very exciting. I think the only thing about this that we do have to understand is it's going to be a while before these games release, and it will probably also be a while before we even see anything of these games, because I think they confirm they're still in the conceptualization stage. And so it's very early on, but still, I think it's awesome that Remedy are going to be the ones remaking these games, because who better to do it? They are the original creators of Max Payne. They made Max Payne 1, and I believe they made 2 as well. And so, yeah, it's going to be awesome. My only thing with this is by the time these games are coming out, Max Payne 1 and 2 Remake, I hope that Rockstar Games is able to do something with Max Payne 3, maybe just a remastered version of it, so that way we can play all three games, because they all, I think, are good in their own right. And I think that it makes sense for Max Payne 1 and 2 to get a full remake, but I don't think it would make sense for Max Payne 3 to get a remake. I think at the very least that just needs like kind of a remaster treatment, where just kind of update the graphics a little bit, make it look prettier, make it look better, and we could have the complete trilogy, you know, on PS5. That would be awesome. But nonetheless, as I said, I think these are two games that absolutely deserve to be remade, and it sounds like Remedy, they are working on a lot of different projects, and I'm looking forward to most of them. So yeah, that's all I have for you for this video, guys. Be sure to leave your thoughts down in the comments below. I'll be interested to see what you have to say. Leave it a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and feel free to share the video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.